Southwest 109, coming out of gate 1, ready to taxi with victory. Southwest 109, number ground runway 27, taxi via Bravo. Okay, 7 via Bravo to Southwest 109.
All right. Here we are back finally after taking about a week off to the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel. I'm your boy Dre, and we're back at it again, doing a couple more flights before the Flight Sim Expo takes place. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the stream and hope your week is going well. Hope COVID and all its variants are staying away from you and you're staying healthy and safe. We're about to get it. We'll probably try to check in. Geo, fellow content creator, was doing some streaming today. I see my boy Captain Shaquille Oatmeal is streaming right now, so we are going to try to multitask and most certainly check in on their streams as well. So what we got here for you today is a Tuesday night shuttle, and we are most certainly going to be heading from San Diego to Las Vegas, and then Las Vegas on over to Reno. So you can say this is a flight full service all the way to Reno with one stop in Las Vegas. So no worries there. Let's get it on and cracking. We're on Pilotedge today, guys, and as you can see here with this beautiful scenery, I believe this is Mr. X, that San Diego is still beautiful as it always has been. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on board here. I have got the plane somewhat taken care of here. Let me go ahead and just get this music shut down. It sounds like a jam we're going to want to listen to in a minute. So let's get that shut off there and let's get right to business. That way we do not belabor this thing whatsoever. We want to go ahead and make it happen. Okay. So we still need to call for clearance. Prior to doing that, let me go ahead and get this ATIS again. I had it before, but it's been quite some time, so let's see if it has changed.
Arriving and departing runway 27. Visual, RNAV, and localizer runway 27 approach in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignment and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor.
So it's Victor. It was uniform last time. It's Victor, and everything else is pretty much same, including the altimeter. So let's go ahead and shut that down. Alright, that is shut down. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and we're going to look at our route really quick. Well, not we'll look at the route, but we need to, well, let me orientate you guys first of all, and we'll figure out what we're doing with our lives even before we call for clearance. Because once we call for clearance, it's going to be pretty much a done deal. We're going to just get at it. So here we are at San Diego right here. We are at gate 46, and we'll be arriving in Las Vegas at gate Delta 39. So right now we're at the Alpha Concourse. As you can see, we are departing on the Padres to the Chicken transition. So as you can see here, it's a pretty standard departure here for San Diego. Runway 27, climb heading 275 to 520 feet, then right turn direct Winfield, then on track 296 to Colonel, then on track 296 to cross Gwynn, at or above 8,000, then on track to Padres. Top altitude for this departure is 15,000, and 19.6 is the departure frequency. So, and also, let's go ahead and take a look at our general route.
Tower, Southwest 109, short runway 27.
Let's get rid of this here.
Southwest 109, number tower, runway 27.
Okay, so you can see here we start our departure out northwest, and then we do a northeastern turn, if you will, straight up across the desert. The only cities notable that we really are going to pass over is San Bernardino and Riverside. and then we hit the desert and we move it straight on into the Las Vegas area here. So not too bad. You can see the route here. That's our departure. That's our transition. Sebi, Yila are pretty much our two fixes in between, and then you go right to Meissen, which is the transition point for the arrival of the Rounders 2. And last check, I'm looking at 01 right for the runway, but you guys know how that goes. That can always change, so we won't hold our breath on that at all. So back there, so that's kind of what we have going on. So let's go ahead and get, oops, back there in the cabin. Let's go ahead and get our altitude up to the 15,000, of course, and we'll pull the big one. All right, 15,000. Let's get our flight directors on. Flight directors are on, of course, and let's see, the runway heading is going to be 275. Runway heading is going to be 275, of course, and we're initially going to do a vertical speed takeoff. I could of course do all this as well in the autopilot feature of this aircraft, which we may or may not use, but we'll go for an aggressive about 2,400 feet per minute on our departure. And because I'm pretty much going to be flying this thing manually, let me look at our Padres and just make sure it's only above and I don't have any. Yes, everything's above. The only real, there's no speed restrictions other than 250 at 10,000, you know, so you have to be at 250 knots or slower under 10,000 feet. And of course, when we get to our third waypoint, which is Gwyn, we need to be above 8,000 feet, which is definitely doable, in my opinion. So I don't see any problems there at all. So let's go ahead and call for this clearance, of course, and keep going. All right. Wait for that radio chatter.
1 Charlie Alpha, Santa Barbara clearance after departure, fly runway heading, maintain VFR at or below 1,500. Departure frequency 120.55, squawk 3340.
Beach City, 1 Charlie Alpha, runway heading 1,500, departure 120.55, and squawk at 3340.
1 Charlie Alpha, that correct?
Getting cut off.
Down on runway 29, 27 uniform. This is going to be a full stop.
27 uniform, roger, runway 29, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 29, 27 uniform.
Number clearance SkyWest 318 with information Victor's looking for IFR to Las Vegas.
SkyWest 318, number clearance, clear to the Las Vegas Airport, Padres to departure, chicken transition, let us file. Climb via the SID, departure frequency 119.6, squawk 6272.
Clear to Las Vegas, Padres 2, chicken transition, then is filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency is 19.6, squawking 6272, SkyWest 318.
SkyWest 318, read that correct.
All right, readback is correct, so let's go ahead and let's get our squawk situation in there.
131 Charlie Alpha, Santa Barbara ground, runway 25, taxi by Charlie Juliet.
Charlie Juliet 25.
Stand by, and we're going to be squawking, I believe he said 6272. Oh, 6272. All right, 6272. We can switch these frequencies now, and let me get the Lindbergh Tower frequency, of course. The Lindbergh Tower frequency is 18.3.
Lindbergh Tower, Southwest 109, like to switch to departure. Southwest 109, connect, SoCal departure. Departure Southwest 109.
All right, 18.3, and then 19.6 will be our departure, which we already have in the column 2. If you look over here, we've already got that with our ATIS in there, so we can go ahead and switch that. ATIS should still be the same by the time we depart, so that's all good. So now what we need to do is definitely go up top, and we need to get our APU started. All right, we're gonna get that APU started. And everything is looking good thus far. Let's wait for the APU to come up, become available. Looks like it's good to go, so now we can go come up top, of course. All right, let's get our fuel pumps on, and let's turn the EPU off. Not to mention, let's go ahead and get rid of it. That thing's pretty loud. All right, the aircraft is actually a loud one too, so I'm gonna see. I'm going to turn it down a little bit because this thing is going to be super loud once we take off. All right, so that's all good to go. And now, of course, we can go ahead and put our fasten seat belts on and no smoking, as well as get our red beacon on. And we can call for a better pushback. Let's go ahead. We'll turn our windshield heat on once we get the aircraft up and going. Everything else here is an auto feature, so that's a good thing. So let's go ahead and call for a better pushback right now. And crack-a-lack.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, that tow is driving up. Let's just do what we need to do here. So, okay, we're going to be taking off, so we definitely need to put this into the takeoff feature, and we need to do our V-speeds, of course, because I didn't do that yet. You guys didn't think I did everything for you already. Let's see, wind field. That looks a little strange there, so let's take a look at the flight plan.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Chicken. Colonel Chicken, ELA. Rounders. Vectors. And there.
Winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
Alright, and let's check this as well. Just want to make sure that, I don't know why that looks kind of funny there. But there is no redundancies there, so we should be good to go. We'll just make sure we monitor that. So once we get here, we should be going direct to wind field. So we'll have to make sure we hit direct wind field actually once we get to the runway, just to be on the safe side. All right, we can go ahead and release that parking brake. Okay, there goes the gate. We can most certainly be looking for our pushback now.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, let's go up top again. Just make sure everything is good there. Once we turn our engines on, we are most certainly going to put the rest of this on here. We can go ahead and get our hydraulic pumps on, of course, right here. Might want that to happen. All right. Cat here is looking for some attention. It's funny, I normally get some Gio, what's going on, my brother? Thanks for checking in the chat. I know I was on your stream earlier and then I was driving, so I lost contact, but I hope to see you at the Flight Sim Expo. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully we can link up. Let's go ahead and let's get a look from the... I was thinking we could get a shot from the tower, but apparently we can't. So let's get this pushback scenario going here. We're not going to start the engines until that tow is pretty much done. Sometimes it does some funny stuff. Anyway, yeah, Gio. Hopefully I see you at the Flight Sim Expo, my friend, and other people. I'm pretty excited. It's this week. I'm taking my oldest daughter with me. Kind of early 23rd birthday celebration. She'll be 23 coming up here really quick. So, yep. Gio says flying in Friday night. That's what I'm talking about. I'm only about an hour away from there, Gio, so I'm going to be driving. Let me get up Saturday morning and drive. I already got a room at the Town and Country Inn Suites. Everything's booked and paid for, so I'm excited. Yeah, we'll see what it does. You know, we'll look over the itinerary here on this flight if we have time. These are two short, very short flights that we're doing, so we'll see if we have time to look at the itinerary and stuff like that. But I think we will. All right, guys. So we're going to continue to push back here. And one thing that we definitely need to do before we forget is to
Operation complete.
get our
Go
transponder
ahead and set
on.
the parking brake.
All right, parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right. So one thing that we need to do before we forget, folks, is go ahead and come down here, and we need to go into our perf. So we got to go back to progress, and then now we need to do perf. So I need to set up my trims, so we can see we're probably going to do a flaps 22 takeoff, just because of the shorter runway.
Victorville Tower, 2 Lima Golf going missed.
2 Lima Golf.
All right, so our rotation speed is 114,
Has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time.
and we should already be in the takeoff mode.
1, 2 Lima Golf.
All right, so everything's looking good there. Total weight is 41,684 pounds. So I believe we're good to go there, folks. Let's go ahead and get this thing cranked up. And of course, let's get that APU bleed on. All right, we definitely have some movement on the right side engine. Let's just make sure we don't get a hot start. Sometimes this thing starts up really funky. To be honest with you, sometimes it's because I don't remember if the isolation valve is on auto, but it is on auto. I always get confused between this one, the E170, 195, or 175. Okay, so looks like we got a good start on the right engine. Let's go ahead and get the left one started, if we may. Gotta hold that ignition switch for a while too. The start switch here.
Correct.
And your plane cruising altitude.
We'll be at 5,000.
There we go.
View for cruising altitude 4,500, 6,500.
4,500.
305 departure frequency 134.2, squawk 1662.
All right. Number one, or the left side, is continuing to come up, and as you can see here, all the systems basically that we need to worry about are coming online. So we're getting a blank message center here, which is a good thing. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that all closed up, and let's roll up top once again, and now we can turn the APU bleed off. Then we can also turn the APU itself off. All right, folks, so we said we're going to be taking off flaps. Let me make sure my view was good here. We said we're going to be taking off flaps 22. Wonder why it actually skipped over 18. Let's go check something here. 9 and 22, those are your two options. So we'll stick with that since it's a shorter runway, even though I believe this aircraft could handle it prior to that. All right, so LNAV, vertical speed, altitude selected, 240. Okay, we have our takeoff profile here. If you want to see if we can come over here, let's go to our map function. Okay, there we have takeoff mode. We got the temperature 28 and our anti-ice is on. So everything is looking good there, guys. Like I said, once we get to the base of the runway, we have to make sure that we type in direct to wind field, or we might be having a problem on our departure, which we don't want any problems. So we got our flaps obviously already set to 22, and we have our pitch to 7 up, which is right on the cusp. I usually get a pretty high pitch here. So now we need to go ahead and switch this over to ground, which we already did, and then we have tower there. Number ground, SkyWest 318, information Victor is ready to taxi.
SkyWest 318, number ground, runway 27, taxi via Bravo.
7 via Bravo for SkyWest 318. Alright guys, you know what it is. It's time to handle business. I haven't flown this aircraft in a while, so hopefully we have some good ones today. I feel like in this aircraft I sit super close to the turn the logo light on too. I feel like I sit super close, but the seats in here are relatively close, so if you look right, we're pretty much parallel with the back of the seat. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and release that parking brake. And let's go ahead and bounce up out of here now, guys. All right, so we still will do our flight controls check, of course. You guys are missing something here. All right, that's what you guys are missing. So obviously we're doing rudder left, so we're going to assume that works. We're getting ready to do rudder right as well. So, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and go. Let me see here. I don't think this one has the flight controls, just the hydraulic. All right, we're going to go full up. Full down, aileron right, aileron left. All right, they appear to be free and clear.
Burbank ground, TPM 805 at the south hangar is ready for taxi with Sierra.
805 Burbank ground, runway 8, taxi via Charlie.
Runway 8, taxi via Charlie, TPM 805.
So not a completely, should be a completely busy flight. I'm just hoping we got the runway that we planned, because this FMC can get kind of tricky once you get closer and they tell you to do a different runway assignment. It can be a little tricky, so hopefully we don't have any snafus with this thing here. All right.
I'm sorry, San Maria ground. 150 possible. I'm on the mark in San Luis, and everything like that.
Again, I gotta remind myself to check in with Shaq's stream as well. All right, hope you guys didn't hear that. I muted the mic so I can cough there. No COVID. It's a little COVID joke. You guys can use that if you want.
Departure frequency 124.15, squawk 2275.
There's San Luis.
So this aircraft is cool. Once we lift off, we're absolutely not going to even worry about the chronometer. It does it on its own, which has saved me a couple times because I'm not the best about turning the thing on either. All right, ground speed 22 knots. We're okay. I believe flying time on the first leg is about 44 minutes. See, when I look down, that's because I'm too far out on the seat, so let me move myself up. It must be a glitch when I look down, but it does that. Make sure we don't have any glitches anywhere else. Alright, so I'm just really looking forward to an enjoyable flying. I haven't flown, like I said, for over a week. Last time I streamed is the last time I flew. Been meaning to do a flight every day, but there's always something getting in the way. This weekend I was going to do a flight, but I had to do my yard in the front. I have a lot of bushes and things in the front, and they bloom several times a year. And so my front yard is basically all bushes because I live in Southern California in kind of a deserty area. So those things take about a day to go outside, treat, cut, do all that stuff. So that was a one-day shot. And then the rest of the days were basically work list and honeydew list, pretty much. So able to get a Tuesday flight in. Hopefully I get another stream in before the expo, but if not, it'll be what it is.
805 Burbank Tower, right down with departure approved. Runway 8 clear for takeoff. 17017.
Right downwind departure, runway 8 clear for takeoff, QPM 805.
Alright, let's slow our roll down a little bit. I've noticed on Pilotedge lately there hasn't been that many, every time I check there hasn't been that much traffic on there, so I hope they're still doing well as far as their subscribers. Pilotedge to hang around. And I also noticed, excuse me, and it might be due to COVID, I don't see them on the itinerary list on for the, not the itinerary, but the any of the guest list speakers or the vendor list for the expo. So I'm hoping they have a presence there somewhere. It's always nice to talk to those folks. All right, we're going to slow up a little bit.
720 Papa Santa Maria ground, runway 30 taxi by Alpha.
It's going to slow up a little bit and
just make sure you read back that runway sign. Runway 30 on side. Charlie Golf Tango Foxtrot connects to California.
Overhead departure, Charlie Golf Tango Foxtrot.
all right. Tower, Skywest 318, holding short 27, ready for departure.
Skywest 318, Lumber Tower, wait 27, line up and wait.
27, line up and wait, Skywest 318. Alright, so we got line up and wait, so let's go ahead and get the strobe on. And we got somebody inbound apparently. Or somebody just having departed. And we got the departure frequency in there, of course. Just take our sweet time lining up to wait. Final does look clear. Appears there's a train over there.
Skywest 318, wind 300 at 9 runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Runway 27, clear for takeoff, Skywest 318. All right, we're gonna line up, and then we got to hit direct. So we didn't want to hit the direct prior to us taking off.
Taxiing straight ahead to parking, please. Swim Golf, Roger, Charlie to the right for maintenance frequency pass for the island.
Thank you. Swim Golf, thanks, Charlie.
All right, let's put that parking brake up there for a second. And now we need to come over here to the MCDU index, progress, flight plan, and then now we can most certainly tell the aircraft that we want to go direct to Winfield, which is a good thing. Okay, let's make sure it's off of there we go. So I think we're good to go now. Let's get those landing lights on. Let's get out of here. All right, folks, parking brake is released. Let's make it happen, Captain. Stabilizing those engines. Landing lights are on. Takeoff power is set. Up on V1. There we go. Nice and easy off the deck. Alright.
Just coming up on 4500.
Well, one stage flaps up. Gear is up. Gonna hand fly it right now. Alright, we're going to continue to hand fly here. Let's go into the climb mode. Our climb mode has been achieved. Over to SoCal departure, Skywest 318. Alright, so it looks like we're perfectly for autopilot. Alright, we got autopilot engaged. Not too bad of a takeoff. Flaps coming all the way up. Departure of Skywest 318 is 3,200 climb up BC. Alright, so now what we can do is we're going to do our flight level change there, of course. It's going to pitch up so we can catch 240 on the speed. Then we're going to come back up to our climb to flight level, or to 15,000 if you will. Not a bad rollout. Aircraft should start to slow down here. We're going to do a flight level change, so it'll be monitored by the speed. LA Center 28.6. Good night to you as well, sir. Skywest 318. Alright. Alright, let's get rid of those cams we don't need. Los Angeles Center, Skywest 318 checking in. 6,600 climbing the ascent. Up to flight level 230, Skywest 318. Alright, up to flight level 230 we go. Let us get those taxi lights off. And of course, you know we got to do a little something here. Alright, she's cooking right there, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. She is cooking. Alright, we're going to be coming up on 10,000 feet here shortly. About 600 to go. Then And we can also increase the speed there. Alright, 10,000. Landing lights are coming off. Everything else is off up there. Got to turn our windshield heat. Let's turn that on. So glad I caught those packs. We would have, I knew there was something I was missing. I am so glad I caught the packs. We would have definitely got into a hypoxia situation there. So I'm sure the crew and passengers have some tasteful words for me as the pilot not turning that on. So now the aircraft is going to continue to climb the best that it can. So you don't even have to really adjust the speed. You can see the speed going up. So we'll just continue to climb the aircraft that way because it's smooth to do that way. Alright, let's increase our range here. Get rid of some of this cluttered stuff on here. See if we can sneak under here. Map. See what's going on. Airports, VORs. Turn. There we go, folks. Smooth as ice. Traveling north at this point. LA Center 24.62. We'll see Skywest 318. Alright, 2462 coming up. That's the same route we're taking in. See what runway they're using. Good evening, Los Angeles Center, Skywest 318. It's 13,900, climbing flight level 230. Up to flight level 290, Skywest 318. Alright, so we definitely got our final cruising speed. Aircraft is in the climb mode, so once we get up to flight level 290, we will most certainly be going into the cruise mode. It's all back here in this cabin. Man, we can't do too much more of that. Absolutely not. So at any rate, we are climbing. Once we get to, of course, 18,000 feet, we'll go right into that transition altitude. Alright, I'm going to open up another YouTube so that I can say what's up to Shaq before I forget. Alright, 16,000 still on the climb, so we're looking good. Ready to check in with Shaq stream now. Just gonna type him something here real quick. Let's turn him up a little bit. So you guys can hear Shaq stream right now. Big shout out to him. Looks like he is flying the A300. Give him a like. Like is in there.
Alright, so let's do this. Let me pause the music. Let me go. Oh, pilot Porter just cracked me the heck up, dude. Oh my god.
Alright, I'm just responding.
Here it is, guys. This is a far-fetch. We need 125 likes. Please don't send no buy. He'll sponsor more.
It's got 75 likes so far.
True. Trey, what's going on, bro? How are you, dude? How the heck are you, bro? Hope all is well with you, man. And I appreciate you congratulating on doing stay blessed, my friend. Stay blessed. Once again, thank you so much for the content. Right, they're like right next to each other. I appreciate you for the content, and don't stop. They literally keep paying attention.
All right. Let's see. We went ahead and hit our altitude, so now we can come over here to standard. Let's get rid of that. Let's sneak under here and see if we can do it. Definitely multitasking here. All right, we're in the standard cruising altitude, and you see we got a big right turn coming up here. Everything else is looking good.
Oh man, that got me good. That got me good, man. Let me let me do that. Let me do that right now.
All right. Anyway, we drop in to give him that like, and we'll step right back out and keep doing our thing here. Gotta always support when we can, however we can, you know what I mean? So we're continuing our climb, and everything looks like it's copacetic for now. We'll get some music on here in a second. So if the flight is about 44 minutes, that means we only have about 33 minutes to touchdown. Again, this is SkyWest 318. We are flying a Delta livery today, and SkyWest flies a lot of them American regional routes for American, Delta, United, so on and so forth. So we're handling the Delta route today. 5x5, LA Center. Yes, sir, we like shortcuts, and I do apologize if you called us and we didn't respond. But yes, we'll definitely take a shortcut if you're willing to give us one. Turn right, direct Meissen for SkyWest 318. Alright, so that was probably my fault. You know, I didn't want to tell him I'm streaming, and definitely doing a bunch of multitasking. So hopefully he doesn't watch this video and then turn to send me an email and say, hey man, fly, no stream, and get off task. That's all right though. Now we have a direct turn to Meissen, and we'll be there in 129 nautical miles. And I do believe Meissen, we need to be at, I remember this route, we need to be at Meissen at flight level 230, so don't quote me on that, but I think we're in good shape. All right, not much to go, about 6,800 on the climb, and we can go right into the cruise phase of this flight. Let's check up top again. Everything is off, air is up, flaps are up and clean, and we are in the climb mode right now, folks. So now I do believe it's time for some music. I don't see why we wouldn't. All right, there we go. Hopefully my voice comes in okay. And if not, you're checking out the stream, let me know if you cannot hear, and we'll definitely rectify that situation. Yes, sir, that's correct. I'm flying X-Plane, the X-Craft CRJ 145. It does a little funny thing when you go direct, but it's lining up direct to my Skywest 318. All right. So he was just noticing the aircraft was probably a little off kilter, simply because you know, you saw it maneuvering right to get to the flight path, but it doesn't do such a smooth merge when it does that. It kind of overshoots it and does a little fishtail until it gets itself back on. So nothing I could do. You know, you guys witnessed it right here. We hit the direct button, so we went as direct as we can, man. The guy controlling those really nice all the time, so we don't want to give him any hard times, do we? Do we? All right, we're cruising. Almost. Getting kind of slow there on the speed, so I think the rest of the way we are going to do a vertical speed climb, and we're right now going to do our climb at about 900 feet per minute. Pick up a little speed, or at least balance it out. Get a little bit of chop here. We'll go to about 700 feet per minute. Up on the speed a little bit. About 90% there. On the N1 is what we're looking for. Actually, it goes to 88.2 full throttle. All right, and we are direct Meissen. And Meissen, yep, above flight level 240, 24,000 feet at 290, so. All right, guys, not long to go until we get to our final cruising altitude. We're about 17 minutes into the flight. Taking some of these scenic views here. So, I think the second leg is, don't quote me, is going to be equal to or the same. I don't know if we're really even going to get into talking about the Flight Sim Expo. Seems how this is going to be super short. We still need to get in here right now. Just waiting for us to get into cruising altitude, and then we'll get into our arrival planning. Little pick me up there. All right. How's it go? The alarm we're getting as well. All right, as soon as we get to that 1,000, let's make sure we set our pressurization and all that stuff in here good. And we didn't. It's only got 21,000 feet, so pressurized flight level 290. Shame on me, guys. This stuff I shouldn't even miss taking off. But you know what? We were winging it. No checklist. So I was just happy that I got the whole PAX thing because I sure didn't go up top and look. But good thing we got the APU off. Everything else was on. So we kind of got saved by a little freak luck of me just happening to look up and notice what was going on with that. All right, 200 to go. And this aircraft does not have auto throttles, so that means that we're gonna have to dial the speed back on ourselves. You can see it picking up already. Pretty much level. We need to go into that cruise phase now. All right, now as you can see here, we're on the cruise mode. The speed is continuing to increase a little bit, but you can see here at the bottom of the barber's pole. So we're doing 0.712 Mach. You can also see here with the cruise, it only allows N1 at 84.2%. And that's with my throttles full open. We're still looks like we're picking up speed, so we're still going to probably have to dial it back here shortly. You can see that Meisen's right at the 80 mark, coming up here visually and also giving the data here on the MFD. So we're cruising now, literally. Now let's go ahead and take a quick peek at our arrival situation. First, I'm going to peek back on that speed there here in a second. Of course, you can see now we're a little off. We didn't fully go to our right turn here, which would have been chicken. He gave us a shortcut, so now we're just pretty much south of our flight path, of the flight plan. But this is Meissen right here, so you can see we're headed directly there. Once we get there, we're going to come on in. Let me check that speed really quick. Okay, slowly but surely creeping up. Pull back just a little bit. All right. So, as stated, let's look at our arrival. So this is the approach that we are most certainly thinking about coming in. LA Center, 33.2, see the Skywest 318. All right, 33.2. And I believe we're coming in, nope, not that. We're going to be coming in Packnew, if it all works out for that runway. Let's get down here. Assumption Center, Skywest 318, checking in flight level 290. All right. Let me make sure we don't miss his calls again. Turn him up a little bit. All right. Chief Sim Pilot says, "Love this bird. How are you?" Thanks, Chief. You're the reason I got this one. I saw you fly, brother, and turns out I like it as well. So appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, Chief. Hope the NASA life is treating you well, and thanks for your content that you continue to put out, my man. All right. Not doing bad at all. Definitely going to be hungry after these legs. Got some turkey hot dogs on the menu. Man, I baked the chicken the other day. So we had fish last night, and the day prior to that there was some chicken that I did in a different way the way I baked it, and it was tender and juicy and moist. Chief Sim Pilot says, "LOL, nice. Oh yeah, super busy. Great seeing you back live again." Appreciate you, Chief. It's good being back live again, brother. Now that my internet issues have been resolved, which again, it wasn't the internet, it was a network adapter. Alright guys, so we're about 291 on the speed. I'm just monitoring, and I think we're going to hover right around this speed for our cruise. So, let's get back at it with our planning. So anyway, that's the plan. Not far out, as you can see, obviously under 80 miles for that. And then we literally start to merge onto the arrival here at Meissen. Now, if we come over here and take a look at the Star, we are going to be arriving, I believe it's on the Rounders. So here's the Rounders, here's Meissen at above flight level 240. Of course, if we're planning for runway 1 right, from Rounders, we're going to continue to fly Rumley. So here's Rumley, here's Rounders. So that is the point that everyone, no matter what runway you're going to transition to, you'll pass over that between these specifications at 250 knots between flight level 190, 19,000 feet, 13,000 feet. So there's 5,000 or 6,000 feet that you can play with in between there. But if we're going to runway 1 right, we're going to go right onto Rumley. And then from Rumley, we're going to go to Baum. Okay, descend via the Rounders 1 arrival with the 26 left transition to Skywest 318. Okay, so that changes the game. So now we're going to be doing runway 26 left. So Rounders, then on track to Grandma, so on and so forth. So let's make those changes really quick. So the first thing I want to do is square up the heading. Heading is squared up, and we're still direct Meissen. Okay, now before we do any descent, let's come over here and go to the index, arrival. Stars already selected, so let's just see if we select a different runway. We'll select that approach. And Reno is what we'll select for that. Let's go to the MCDU index now. We have to go to progress, my friends. We got to go to flight plan. Now we got to execute that change. And then there's Grandma right there, so you know I made a change. NV, Bourbon. So we'll check the rest of that, but in the meantime, I like what it looks like up here. We're still direct Meissen, so let's come back up here and go right back into the nav mode. And then now that we're in the nav mode, of course, we've got a little under 40 nautical miles to start our descent, which is fine. But let's go ahead and alright, as you can see there now, we got flight level 240, so we can actually start that descent now. And of course, we'll pull that power back. Alright, so we're descending at 18 negative 1,800 feet per minute. Pull that speed back, and of course, let's look at our arrival. All right, so we're gonna hit Misen above flight level 240, and then of course rounders. We need at flight level 190. 190, of course, at 13,000 feet. And as you can see, we're going to go to Grandma, to Beauty, and it looks like to Envy, to Red Quinn, to Bourbon. So there you go. Let's get this out of your way. We got to keep an eye on that speed. Pick it up just a little bit. That range to 20, and we'll keep it to 40. Alright, rounders. Plate center 124.65, Skywest 318. All right, 124.65. Play center, Skywest 318. The last frequency I got was 124.65. Or did I read that wrong, sir? No, I actually tried 24.65, but it's, I see there's a correction on that. What was that frequency again, sir? All right, sir, 34.65, Skywest 318, thanks a lot. All right, let's pick up the speed a little bit. Los Angeles Center, Skywest 318, checking in 40, and descending immediately. Rounders 1 arrival, 26 left position. 3016, Skywest 318. Alright, so 3016 on the altimeter. Let me write that down. Alright, told you guys the speed was going to be, I mean not the speed, but just everything's going to be happening pretty quick here. I'm just glad we got the change for the runway. Just going to have to get the localizer freaks and all that stuff here in a second. Let's reduce this. Alright, now that we're direct head, we can go ahead Alright, let's pull that back. Let me check you guys out in the chat just in case I'm missing anything. And absolutely not. And then we'll go ahead and double check to see. So the gate that we're landing at is on Delta 39. Let's watch my speed here. Let's take a look at that. Alright, so you can see here we're coming in on 26 left, and this is the Delta concourse right here. We're doing Delta 39. Delta 39 is on this appendage here, so not bad. We're going to come across and probably back taxi on Bravo. the outer one, not the inner one. So we can come right here. So that ought to be interesting. And of course, let's go ahead and get that approach frequency in, now that we know we're doing 26 left. 26 left, the localizer is 111.5. So 111.5 for 26 left. And let's go to the other side and do it as well. There we go, 111.5 for the nav2 and the nav1. And then of course we need to listen to that ATIS, which is 32.4. All right, and let's go ahead and shut this music off. It's a little distracting. All right, music is shut down. All right, let's take a look. So rounders. So we got a little bit to drop some more altitude. Pull some power out. All right, let's see if we can get that ATIS. Oscar is current. All right, and let's get on this altimeter. All right, 3016 is in there. As we get a little closer, we'll also plan our arrival speed, but so far we're not doing too bad. Speed right here at about 290, which is good. So we'll definitely be at the right altitude for rounders. Let me go ahead and take a double check or look-see here. I feel like an old guy from like the Western. Let me take a look-see. All right, now rounders, we need to be at 250, so let's pull that power way down.
Expect 15,005 minutes in departure.
Okay.
Departure frequency 118.8, that's making sure the approach.
And our next one will be Beauty. We have to be above 12,500, which is not a problem.
Charlie Foxtrot clear to John Wayne Airport via Shafter, then as filed, climb to 13,000. Expecting 15,000 in 5 minutes. Departure 18D, squawk 5024, hold to remain.
KM35 Charlie Foxtrot, read that correct? And advise when you're ready for approach.
Roger, 5 Charlie Foxtrot.
All right, so we slowed our roll down a little bit, and we're at 15,000 already. We're direct Grandma, so we're going to be set up for Beauty at 12.5, so we can even decrease that descent. Touching the wrong knob there. I hate when I do that. Alright, drop it a little bit below that speed. Keep it about between 245 and 250. "39 minutes into the flight, so we're definitely, even with the shortcut, going to be a little bit later than we anticipated. That's no big deal. Hey, passengers, all they need to care about is they get there in one piece, which that remains to be seen there. Remains to be seen. Alright, so we're keeping our speed kind of where we want it. Let's just get a snapshot of what we potentially may be doing for the landing. Go right into Perf.
Skyway 318, contact Vegas approach 125.
Las Vegas approach 25-9er for Skywest 318. We'll see you.
Charlie, Golf Tango Foxtrot, contact Santa Monica Tower 0.
Alright, so 25-9er. Las Vegas approach, Skywest 318 is 12,800, descending via the Rounders 1, information Oscar on board.
Skyway 318, Vegas approach, thanks, Oscar,
Okay, 3016, expecting RNAV 26 approach for Skywest 318. Alright, so he's going to give us the RNAV, as it were. So let's switch it to the RNAV. You guys know what we got to do now. We got to jump on the heading. Let's square it up. Speed is dropping a little bit just because we're at that altitude, so let's pick that up. Make sure we're not dropping speed too much there. We're right there on a nice slow. Let's come back to our situation here. Go back to the arrival. We're going to select the approach. We're going to do the RNAV. That's what he's saying to expect. So let's select that. And we're still going to do Reno. CDU index. Let's go back to the progress. Flight plan. Execute. So Bourbon is going to give us vectors once we get to Bourbon. Beauty, Envoy, so it's pretty much the same thing that we already had programmed in. So, let's see, now we're going direct to Beauty, so let's do that. Nav. I think we caught it in time. Alright, UNV, vectors. Let's see, Bourbon, Twaffle. Las Vegas approach 1350 for Skywest 318. Alright, we're getting the frequencies right, we're paying attention, we're being good little pilots here. Approach Skywest 318 is 12,100 descending via the Rounders 1. At Bourbon cleared ILS 26 left approach for Skywest 318. Okay, so our next waypoint above 9,000. And we need to keep it down to about 230. All right, Twaffle Bourbon, then vectors to Reno. Get on that RNAV. Okay, so we're going to be direct Bourbon, and then we can go direct to Shand. So once we get to Bourbon, which is going to be at 7,000, our landing lights on here. Landing lights are on. Let's get our V speeds really quick here before we do anything else. Alright, so we're going to do a flap 22, 131 is the approach speed.
Bakersfield departure, King Air 35, Charlie Foxtrot, 2.6. Turning
There's the airport there. Then from Bishop, Bourbon to Bishop. Let's make sure we got that in there. Progress. Flight plan. Bourbon. Let's see. Relin. Bourbon Lake, Large, Shand. All right. Speed is doing all right. Alright folks, here we go. So it's going to be a little unorthodox because we are missing one of the points. So once we get to this point here, the 3611, we're going to go a little bit past it and go direct to Shand. So right now what I'm going to do is square up the heading. I'm going to keep us on the heady mode for right now. And let's look at the, see, tower 26 left, 19.9. All right, 26 left, 19.9. Let me check on the chat here. That's looking good. Aviator JT says, hey, Dave McKee. How you liking Pilotedge, Dre? I like it a lot, Dave. Aviator JT, hey, how you doing? Las Vegas Tower 19.9er for Skywest 318. We'll see you. Las Vegas Tower, Skyways 318, RNAV 26 left.
Skyways 318, Las Vegas Tower, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, Skyways 318. Alright guys, so now here's where we're going to do the little hook boogie. There's Shan. We want to select direct to Shan, and then now we can do our nav. And we can also activate the approach mode. Let's get that speed down. Alright, so localizer looks like it's captured. Alright, we're getting ready to go. Remember, we're only landing flaps 22.
Liberty, there's Charlie 10, Alpha, departure, runway 2.
131 is the approach speed. I'm gonna get this to about 190 right now.
Reno departure, clear for takeoff.
On flaps 9 here, folks. Dave McKee says flaps 22. Wow, spicy. Yes, sir. Spicy, spicy. Yes, sir, Dave. We're doing a flaps 22 so we can hit that butter. Pick up the speed a little bit. All right. Of course, we will be landing, so we're going to put it in our takeoff mode. Be hitting a turn here any second. There we go. I was getting ready to say. All right, so at Relin, we need to be 3,800. Alright guys, landing gear is coming out.
Autopilot.
Autopilot is off. Shame on me, we need some controls there. There we go. Alright, landing gear's down. Remember, 131 is our approach speed, if you will. Alright, flaps 22, that's flaps 18. Good thing we checked that. Still a little bit high. Alright, landing lights are all on, guys. Very busy approach in this thing. Outside of it missing one waypoint on all that changing that we had to do, is not too bad. All right, this is what you want to do here. You'll turn that flight director off. It's not. It's giving us information that's not accurate.
1,000.
Almost right at our approach speed.
Down.
500.
Slightly under.
Glide slope, 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 glide slope,
10.
glide slope.
All right, an acceptable landing, which I'm okay with. Haven't flown this bird in a while. Reversers are on. All right, reverse free. I feel like I'm sitting super close here.
5,000, expect 6,000, 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128.1, squawk 564.
All right, guys.
We are clear to Burbank on departure. His fly heading 175, right back to Seal Beach, that is final. Copy the correction, maintain 5,000, expect 6 within 5 minutes. Departure
Get that strobe off. And we're on Alpha 6.
7 Alpha Foxtrot, backtrack.
All right, let's just pull it in right here really quick. Let that market break up. All right, let's see here. Landing lights off, taxi is on, the strobe is off. Las Vegas Tower, Skywest 318 is clear of 26 left on Alpha 6, looking for gate Delta 39.
Skywest 318, sorry, what gate?
Delta 39, sir.
Skywest 318, roger, crosswind 26, right at Alpha 6, and Bravo to the terminal, monitor ground 121.1.
Okay, crosswind 26 right, Alpha 6. Then Bravo to the ramp, monitoring ground 121, 11 for Skywest 318. Alright guys, so that's what we have, so let's go ahead and, so that was not the best, so we'll monitor ground after we pass. Let me see what you guys say in the chat. That was a very kind of uncouth landing. He says nice. Dave McKee says auto brake set. In this aircraft, there is no auto brake in this aircraft, Dave. It's automatic all on its own. Chief says, hey Dave, very nice, Dre. Gotta go catch everyone later. No worries. Thanks for checking in, Chief. All right, let me get my Navi graph pulled up here so I make sure I'm not breaking any rules here. All right, basically Alpha 6 to Bravo, so we're just going to stay on this pretty much the whole way. Yeah, one of the things about this aircraft, I do love the aircraft, but it just feels like I sit way too close in this thing. 55 minutes flying time. So we'll mark that down. We're not going to do a replay here, but we're going to go ahead and get some music on, and we're going to get ready for our next leg, because this is a full flight service all the way to Reno, Nevada. So we're going to stay on Alpha 6 here until we get to Bravo, right on Bravo, and then in to the gate Delta 39, which is on that first appendage. Once we cross this runway, we'll be off Towers Purview, and we'll monitor ground. It's all clear there. All right, crossing that runway. All right, we're gonna monitor ground now. And this is Bravo coming up here. Good old Las Vegas. City where dreams are crushed. Just kidding. I actually got married in Las Vegas, so no dreams were crushed there. All right, merging right on over to Bravo. Very busy, especially because I had anticipated a different runway, and that didn't work out. So looks like Charlie 5 is where we'll look to exit this. And again, love the aircraft. I just hate how close I feel like I'm sitting to the front dash. That's all. So we're going to look for Charlie 5.
That last aircraft trying to
slow it up a little bit.
Transmitting nothing but dead air. Just make sure your microphone's not.
Okay, APU is on. Check you guys out in the chat once I park this bad boy.
Yeah, same thing. I can see your key and your mic. There's no sound signature.
See if we can get an eye on our concourse.
Right, it was muted. Skyhawk, pardon me, San Luis Tower, Skyhawk 1416 Echo, East Hangars with Yankee requesting closed traffic.
416 Echo San Luis ground, 129er taxi by Alpha.
Taxi 29er via Alpha, 1416 Echo. 7.5 miles to the north, down with X-ray.
733 Charlie Sierra, forward to tower, get you to a new frequency there. Give it a second to make sure someone else isn't talking there. He's stepped all over somebody. And a right base from 2443 Alpha.
Right base 24733 Charlie Sierra.
So Pilotedge isn't too bad. David asked. I've been flying on Pilotedge quite a bit. I did a lot of Pilotedge during kind of like my training time, if you will. I think Pilotedge is really good for true realism, using charts and all that stuff. And I mean, sometimes you definitely feel like you need that actual co-pilot. As far as the traffic is concerned, though, VATSIM has definitely got Pilotedge beat when you want the immersion of people flying online, the traffic, and, the different aircraft that you'll see, and so on and so forth. So I like them both. They're both a little different. They both have a little something something. See, those are these edge gates over here.
Information on whiskey request IFR to San Francisco.
Delta 213 Liberty Ground, Canadian clear to San Francisco Airport, Padres.
See the high roller there off in the distance.
Transition on a smile. Climb via the SID, that's departure frequency 119.6, squawk 4532.
Alright, I do believe I have eyes on our gate.
Come by the SID 1960 and 4532.
Delta 213, Rebecca.
San Luis Tower.
Let's get this
1416 Echo, runway 29er, ready for
taxi light off. Even though I don't see a marshaller there.
Close tower, left close traffic, approved. Report midfield down one each time, runway 200, clear for takeoff.
Slow our roll a little bit.
Takeoff, we'll report midfield each time, with 416 Echo.
Somebody's doing a little traffic pattern work there. All right. Let us see. CRJ 7 and 9. pretty much going to adhere to the CRJ situation. See, we had it right on the line there with our awesome driving. Pat on the back. All right there. Market brake is set. And let's go up top, of course. And shut her down. Our APU bleed on.
Fullerton Tower, Cessna 733, Charlie Sierra is established on
our hydraulics off.
3 Charlie Sierra, thanks for my 24 clear to land.
And of course, we turn our fuel pumps off.
733, Charlie Sierra.
And get that red beacon off.
Tower Bonanza 66 Alpha 10 miles.
And guys, welcome it into the Las Vegas airport. All right. The door open, of course. So we're not doing a replay on this one at all. All right, get all those folks working, and let us get our transponder off, of course. Let's get some tunes and let's get to work on our next flight. Check on the new wonderful folks. All right, let's see here. Auto brake off. Dave the key says nice. Chief had to catch everyone later. Hi Chief, stay safe, have a good night. Dave McKee, crossing the active strobes on. Yes, Dave, I thought about that, and landing lights. Dave, you're right. When I crossed 26 right, I should have put the strobes on and the landing lights, which I did not do. I'll do some push-ups for you guys later. So at this point, let's go and reinitialize this flight, and then we're going to get right into our next flight plan and get over to Reno. So we're going to come back to the MCDU index, and that's all done. Now let me go ahead and do my next flight plan for you guys. Alright, next flight plan coming through. Hopefully we have a better landing.
Tower Bonanza 66 Alpha is on a 3 mile left base for runway 19er.
66 Alpha, runway 19er, clear to land.
19er, clear to land, 66 Alpha.
Alright, we're going to do this together. We're basically just going to update this flight here. Let me see here. There's one thing you got. You know what? I should just leave the controls up for you guys. You guys will be alright. I'll just leave the controls up for you guys. Alright. So, back over to the spot. Alright, of course, Sacramento is in there. We're going to do, let's do this whole screen. We're going to do flight level 340 on this one. Let's see, I want an extra 1,000 pounds of fuel. Let me look at the right. Joker, Kino 2. Okay. It looks good there. So we're going to generate this now. Alright, so we need 6920 fuel, which is kind of close to what we had too. So, and you guys can see their flying time this time is 1 hour and 2 minutes. So it's a little bit longer this time, guys. So let us go in and start doing what we need to do. First of all, let's come in here and customize this. And let's see, definitely don't have enough fuel in there, so let's do 6920. We'll do it right at 7,000. Payload weight back up. So 7,000 pounds of fuel. There's our payload. done. Let's apply those
Ground
changes.
73 Kilo Bravo, San Luis ground, runway 29 taxi via Alpha.
Runway 29
And let's go ahead and do our better pushback now before we call for clearance.
Alpha, 973 Kilo Bravo.
Alright guys, you know my better pushback always gives me a hard time.
Belmonte ground, Bonanza, November 66 Alpha, is at Delta, taxi to transient parking.
Bonanza 66 Alpha, Monte ground. You can't change from tower to ground on your own.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright, so that's done.
Roger for 66 Alpha, thank you.
I do need you to read back your taxi.
Now I have to file my new plan
Taxi via Alpha.
on Pilotedge. This is what I'm going to do right now.
Monte tower, right, set up charge 3 miles.
Alright, so IFR, SkyWest 318, E145, we are Lima as far as a GNSS transponder mode C and RVS M.
Clear to land runway 19 for 817 Alpha.
Alright, and we are going to Reno. I think Reno is a little bit easier airport to fly into simply because not as big and confusing. I like flying into Reno actually.
58 Burbank clearance. What is your navigational from how are you navigating today?
We've got standby.
Check my phone here.
131 Charlie Alpha, Santa Barbara Tower, do you prefer runway 25 or runway 15 right?
Alright, nothing too important.
And the 131 Charlie Alpha at a right base, runway 15 right, report 2 mile right base.
Alright, we're report that 2 mile right base, 1 mile right.
Alright, IFR, SkyWest 318, E145. Special equipment is Slant Lima. 450 Las Vegas to Reno with an alternate of Sacramento, flying 34,000 feet. Joker 2, Kino 2.
973 Kilo Bravo.
So we already know what runway we're going to take off here, so
973 Kilo Bravo, we got a couple things to talk about here. Number one, if you look to your left, is there more runway? Roger, if you want to take an intersection departure, you have to request it, and I'll assign it to you.
go.
All the way down to the very end.
Let's go to departure. Departure is going to be
Additionally, once you get there, you can actually contact the tower on your own and change it down.
Alright, we'll taxi to the end.
so we're going to get it all in here assuming we know what we're doing here,
Contact tower when we get there.
and then if they change it, so departure is probably going to be on 26 right. And yep, we're doing the Joker 2. Now here's the thing about this, you no matter what, you have to put some waypoints in there, so we'll do that here in a second.
Alpha, request taxi back in here. 317 Alpha Charlie, taxi to parking via Alpha. Remain this frequency, and that is a pass for the Cap 7.
Let me do something here before I get too far into this thing.
Stay on this frequency.
Initialize FMS, that's what we did. So let's go back into our departure again just to make sure that kept. Joker. Select. Now let's go and see if we can go right into the arrival here. Arrival is going to be... So hopefully when I do this, it deletes all those other points out of the middle. Kino 2. So, approach.
3 Kilo Bravo, San Luis Tower, left post traffic is approved, report midfield each time, runway 29, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, we'll report midfield, downwind, clear for 973 Kilo Bravo.
Almost done here, guys.
737 on Foxtrot, downwind ground, downstream your transponder on board, please.
I'm just looking at the weather to see what runway. It's either going to be 16 right or 3-4 left, unless the other runway. So it's going to be a southern, so we're going to spec 16 right.
Skyhawk 1416 Echo, left downwind.
We know how that worked out last time, right?
Skyhawk 1416 Echo, runway 29, clear for the option.
Cleared for the option, 1416 Echo.
Number 101 Alpha, runway 15 right for the left.
I'm not quite sure what transition, so we're going to check it out.
Boeing 737 Alpha Foxtrot, runway 20 right, taxi via Bravo Lima.
Bravo Lima 20 right, November 737 Alpha Foxtrot.
So it's giving us winners, or so we're going to go with the 16 Romeo Yankee. Let's select that. Okay, now we're going to go over here to our route. Airways, route, Wait, this shouldn't be number 3. So let's see if we can hit 1. Let's see, I don't think that works that way. So we might have to come back 1. And let me be responsible here and check the chat. I've been horrible streamer here. Alright, let's see, Dave McKee, I prefer K-Tuss over all of them in the Southwest. Houston isn't bad either, he says. Dave McKee says Kino. Let's do this route edit situation here and see if we can...
Roger, cross runway 15 left to Echo, and then left turn on Bravo. Are you going to the northeast hangars or the northwest hangars?
Northeast hangars near signature.
Let's see, back. I wonder how you delete these points in here.
And your readback?
Oh, there we go. That was nice. Cleared everything. Let's add route points. Oh, that was nice. Perfect. So, having said that, let us look at the flight plan. Joker Kino, but let me look at the departure here.
973 Kilo Bravo, cleared for the option.
Do you need you to read back the runway number in your clearance?
Runway 29er, cleared for the option, 973 Kilo Bravo.
13 on Charlie Alpha, continue via Bravo, and then Charlie, cross runway 25 at Bravo, and monitor ground 121.7.
Bravo, Charlie, and wanted to ground, Charlie Alpha.
Alright, so here is what I'm pulling up now. So, of course, we are anticipating leaving on 26 right. I'm heading 259 to intercept course 249 across Rudy, which is this point right here. And then after Rudy, at or above 4,000, at or below 230 knots, in on track 189 across Sales, which is right here. So this point here is Rudy, so we come off here and make a left turn to Sales right here, and then on the way out, top altitude is flight level 190, of course. And what we really need to look for here is other points on here that we need to put into our FMC. So I'm going to put Joker and Keno in and go from there as the 2 points. Because this FMC needs it or it won't initialize. So it's a fix. So the first one we're going to put in is Joker. And then we'll double check it to make sure it looks good. Kilo Romeo. Alright, and then the next one is going to be Keno,
Louis Tower, Skyhawk 1416.
which is also a fix.
Field 29er, left downwind.
Now let's go to our route.
6 Echo traffic, you're following the Skyhawk at about a 1 mile final. Behind them, runway 29er, clear for the option.
Cleared for the
Alright, intercept, Rudy, Cells, Kruger, Joker, Keno.
Boeing 737 off the Foxtrot, contact SoCal departure.
Now let me look at the arrival and make sure that looks good. And I think we didn't do too bad here, guys. Like I said, all of these FMSs act a little bit differently. So yes, absolutely after Rusmy, Graft, Scola, Texas, Hold'em, Chime, Clock. Perfect, and that'll put us to the east of the field, and so it'll be a left downwind. Excuse me. I'll let you guys take a quick peek so you know we're all legit here. See, get a Rusmy graph. Here it is, and we'll be left downwind here of the field. So let's get the music shut down really quick because it is going to be time. Now let me also get our
John Wayne Tower, do you hear me on this transmitter?
Rudy, let's see. Let's go here. Right now we're on 121. Let's go ahead and get
I'm not quite sure
everything that we need to get.
128.1, which is departure, but you're still with me in the tower. Can you disconnect and reconnect for me and try them again on that frequency?
Yeah, we'll try again.
A few more things to do here. Okay, so ground frequency, we already have that plugged in. The clearance is 18.0. Oops. 18.0.
Santa Barbara clearance. Bonanza
And the ATIS is still good. We don't know what our departure is yet, but we've got that in now. So let's come over here and switch that over.
East from Santa Barbara to, I'm sorry.
And we will call for clearance now.
East to Burbank.
Let him finish talking. In the meantime, we can put in our top altitude this departure, which is 19,000 feet.
Say again for 66 Alpha.
What type of aircraft are you?
Bonanza A36 for November 66 Alpha.
Bonanza 66
1,800 feet.
120.55, squawk 4717. On departure, fly runway heading and maintain VFR at below 1,500, still advised.
Initial climb,
Departure
24.
frequency 120.55.
100 feet per minute, of course.
1727.
And upon departure from 26 right, heading of 259.
Number 66 Alpha, squawk 4717, 4717.
Departure frequency 120.55. Squawk 47.
I'm hoping for a butter landing on the next one.
Maintain VFR at or below 1,500. November 66 Alpha.
Alright, so that's good. 3016 is good. Let's forget our flight director is back on already.
Fly runway heading until advised.
And I believe we'll be able to do the nav. Let's see here. Again, climb heading 25, intercept course 249.
973 Kilo Bravo. I'm just passing into the field waiting for radio.
Intercept course 249 to cross Rudy.
973 Kilo Bravo cleared for the option.
Okay, so I'll just go direct Rudy when we get this thing on and popping. Check our legs here, make sure it looks good here.
A new instrument.
Yep, no problem. Just get it right in the next pass for me. Your first pattern looked good, so just get your altitude right in the next try.
13. What I'm doing, this thing is weird. It gives these little points here, but these aren't accurate. So upon us departing, we're going to fly 259
Number 1416 Echo, taxi to parking via Alpha, remain this frequency.
to intersect course 249 across Rudy.
Via Alpha, remain with you. 1416
Which definitely
Echo.
isn't this far to get there, so we'll just be going direct Rudy pretty much once I take off. Is what I'm going to do. Kind of the same thing I did last time when we departed San Diego. All right, let me check the chat really quick because I know I'm getting busy here trying to plan, but I'm trying to get us out of here so we can figure it out. Dave McKee, that is one quirky FMS. Dave, I totally agree, man. Hi, sweetheart. One of my daughters came in. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go over here to Perf. And we are going to do a flaps 9 takeoff this time. Again, it's still 7 up on the trims. So let's get that there now. And let's double check our fuel weight because we did update it. Update, let's see, 6 and 6 by 7. Yep, that's it. So we're still running the APU as it stands right now. We didn't even do any ground power. Let's look outside and see what we can see. All right, looks like the crew did everything. The doors are all closed up. As you can see, the doors are back closed, so we did get that one right. Now let's go ahead and call for clearance, guys. Dave McKee says at Vegas, you need to maintain runway heading till ATC hand you off to departure unless they say fly the SID as published. All right, Dave, thank you for that. So we are definitely going to be trying to adhere to that. Let me make sure I'm on the departure frequency, 18.0. Las Vegas clearance, SkyWest 318, IFR to Reno.
SkyWest 318 Las Vegas clearance, clear the Reno Airport, Joker 2 departure, Cano transition, that was filed, climb via SID, and squawk 6605.
Hey, clear to Reno, Joker 2. Keno transition, climb via SID, squawking 6605, SkyWest 318.
SkyWest 318, we're back correct.
All right, 6605 is our new squawk. (6605). All right, 6605 is in there, so now we can get rid of that. Let's go ahead and get our tower frequency again, which was, I believe, 19.9. Double check that, folks. The tower frequency is correct, 19.9. So that's set up. Now let's go and plug in. Actually, let's go ahead and get our ATIS while we're waiting here.
26 left. Departing runways 19er left, 19er right, 26 right. Visual approaches in use VFR departures, contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information, Papa.
It's Papa. Let's finish listening to the rest of it.
Las Vegas McCarran International Airport. ATIS information, Papa. 0156 Zulu. Windcom. Visibility 10. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 31. Dew point -7. Altimeter 3016. Arriving runways 19er left, 19er right, 26 left. Departing runways 19er left, 19er right, 26
All right,
right.
25
Visual approaches in
decimal
VFR
9.
departures, contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information, Papa.
All right, Papa's current. And we actually already have
973 Kilo Bravo cleared for the option on 29.
everything's set up. Let's see. Let's check the. See, we got 19,000. We got this all set up. Excuse me.
Transient parking ready for taxi.
Where'd that come from?
Minute 66 Alpha, Santa Barbara ground, information X-ray current, runway 25, taxi via Bravo, Alpha Golf.
All right, takeoff is there. Doors are all closed. Gas is in, guys. There's not enough to do. Okay, let's get our transponder on, man. Let's get out of here. Transponder on. Let's go back up top. Get the beacon back on. And we're getting ready to blow this popsicle stand. Let's go get ahead and get our better pushback going.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Excuse me, just want to cover the mic so I didn't cough in your ear. All right, everything else is looking good up top. Hey, buddy. I got two of my kids in here. The good thing is the APU's running, so we don't have anything to worry about there. Let's just get out of here and don't belabor anything else. Let's give a little seatbelt chime there. Okie dokie. We said we're doing flaps 9 on the takeoff.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Taxi runway 27. Delta 213, Lindbergh ground, runway 27, taxi via Bravo.
All right, guys.
27 via Bravo.
Check you guys out in the chat.
Winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
Let's go ahead and release that parking brake.
We're operating now. I think I'm like out the wrong ICAO equipment code. Wondering if you were help me out with that.
All right.
Roger, what is your equipment that you're navigating with tonight?
So we've got GPS and Mode C transponder. I think there's one for Mode G.
So I'm going to fly this.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Transponder.
I'm going to fly this departure as published, unless they just tell me to fly runway heading. Otherwise, Dave, if they don't do that, they're going to be doing it right. I mean, they're going to be doing it wrong. So we shall see what happens here.
To the Las Vegas airport via the Van Nuys 3.
All right, we cleared our timeout.
Baggage transition, time maintain 4,000. Departure frequency 134.2, squawk 16.
And let's go ahead and start these engines now so we can bounce up out of here.
106.58, read that correct?
Let's turn our fuel pumps on first.
Conway Tower, King Air 3, Charlie Foxtrot, 2,700. Midfield downwind for the visual 20
Hydraulics
right.
on.
King Air 35, Charlie Fox, shot Conway Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land.
Could land 20 right, Charlie Foxtrot.
Gonna wait for that to say ignition Alpha. Holding it until we see more rotation there.
Alpha Foxtrot. So when I tried reconnecting, my game crashes. My clearance for the I-1. You want me to go to delivery and request it again?
Boeing 7 Alpha Fox, your clearance is still valid, the squawk 5643.
5643 in the box, 7 Alpha Fox.
So not a bad turnaround, guys.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Looking for ignition Alpha once again on the left side as well. And there it is. All right.
Santa Barbara Tower, Bonanza 66 Alpha, holding short at Golf, ready for departure, runway 25.
And 66 Alpha, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 25, clear for takeoff.
And we said it was information Papa. Let's get our flaps down.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Alright, flaps 9 is good. We got our trims are good. Transponders on. Las Vegas ground, SkyWest 318, pushback from gate Delta 39, information Papa, ready to taxi.
Down 318 Las Vegas ground, runway 26 right, taxi via Charlie 5 and Bravo.
26 right, Charlie 5 and Bravo, SkyWest 318. Alright guys. Alright, Charlie 5. Okay, so we pretty much do a soft left, take that state out to Charlie 5, then left on Bravo, which confirms Dave McKee's last lesson or prior lesson of departing aircraft taxi on the inner runways, arriving aircraft taxi on the outer runways. Okay, let's see if this thing has a better flight controls check. See if the hydraulics will. Let's see. Fuel, electric, range. Doesn't really do that anything there, so we'll just do it visually here. So let's go full up, full down, aileron left, aileron right, and let's do our rudders, of course. Rudder right and rudder left. I know you guys couldn't see that here. Let me check you guys out here really quick, and then we are out of here. Landing light, taxi lights on and all that good stuff. All right, everybody's looking good here. Dave McKee, they did it right. They did it right. He cleared you via the SID. Got you, Dave. So there we go. Man, Dave, I feel like Dave's the principal, man. He makes sure we're doing everything right. Let's close this gate up here and get that going on. Now let's get our packs on, guys. That's one thing we didn't do last time, which was my fault. Leads, packs off. Let's double check everything. Fuel pumps are on. All this whole left panels to auto. Seat belts and no smoking is on. Taxi light is on, of course. And the bleeds are off. Packs are on. We are good to go.
Same one I gave you when I gave you your
all right.
instructions. 120.55.
Parking brake is released. Let's hit that takeoff config button. Takeoff. Okay. Dave says toe brake check. Up. Toe brake check. Let's look down. You guys see the toe brake check right there? To the right or the left? There you go. Toe brake check. All right, thanks, Dave. Now, Dave is, dude, you're like my co-pilot. The co-pilot I never had. All right, parking brake is released. Taxi light is on. Red beacon's on. Let's roll, guys. Need to be rolling to do it, Dave says. Oh my goodness, Dave. What am I going to do without you, man? All right, we'll roll a little bit, Dave. All right, here we go. Toe brake check. There we go, Dave. Toe brake check is in the house. All right. Man, Dave, you're making me laugh at myself, man. All right, Charlie 5 to Bravo. This is Charlie 5 right there.
973 Kilo Bravo, clear of runway 29.
973 Kilo Bravo, taxi to parking via Alpha, and the strict distance pass for the Cap 3.
Taxiing via Alpha, remain this frequency to 973 Kilo Bravo.
Check something here.
King Air 35 Charlie Foxtrot, clear of 20 right at hotel, just heading straight over to the ramp.
Okay. Just double checking my taxi here.
Parking via Bravo, I'm on the ground.
Bravo, ground, Charlie Foxtrot, secure.
All right, guys. Let's see if we can get it right. You see how the seat comes into play if I move too far back? You can see the top of the seat. So we are as far back as we can get. This thing just is super close, so if I had one gripe, it would be how we sit so close in the seat. Even if it's realistic, they need to switch it up for Flight Sim. It just feels like you're just too close to the front window. Point of view, anyway, I should say. But enough complaining here, man. Let's do this. I should be Less complaining, more better pilot skills. Good thing I got Dave on board, man. So don't go to sleep yet, Dave. My Canadian co-pilot. Alright, let me see if I can check on the chat. Alright, we are rolling.
Have a good night.
It's really not a bad aircraft to fly. Once we get in the air, we'll just do flight level change. We're cleared up to flight level 190 on this. Dave McKee, try using plus or minus keys to see if that moves you back. Yeah, Dave, that won't. That's as far as back as it'll go. And then I can literally move myself back further, but then that's what happens with the seat. You go right into the seat. So got to get it just to where that seat. You can see there's obviously some situations there if you get too far back. It is what it is. Oh, too far back again. There we go. Yeah, so if you go too far back behind the seat, you get that. That's what you get right there. She's still kind of doing it. Come on, man.
415, yeah, Bravo, it's sure that we have the information uniforms, so that's plenty.
Okay, so what I did is I just lifted it up a little bit, and this is as good as we're gonna get, guys. Good as we're gonna get. Thanks though for that. Let's see, wonder if the seat adjustable down on the side. That's one thing to check. Slow our roll here. Once we get to the base of the runway here, we'll double check that. Slow my roll here a little bit. Switch over to the tower frequency. Alright guys, Esky seat, Las Vegas Tower, Skywest 318 on Bravo, holding short 26 right, ready for departure.
Skywest 318, Las Vegas Tower, runway 26 right, clear for takeoff.
26 right, clear for takeoff for Skywest 318. Alright, final does look clear. You guys know what time it is. Landing lights and strobes. Flight attendants, prepare the cabin for departure. Take your seats. Don't forget, guys, one thing that we're doing here is we got to do our direct. All right, once again, final is clear. And he did give me an altimeter setting, Dave, earlier. It's 3016, which it still is on the ATIS. But he didn't give me an altimeter setting. He did actually give me an altimeter setting when I got the clearance, 3016.
Confirming towers, half 19658.
So he did do that, Dave.
Bravo, ready for
If he didn't, I'll tell him he's in trouble, man.
Burbank Tower, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff with a 15.
All right, guys, we're going to do a light roll here. Progress, flight plan, boom, direct activated. There we go. Stabilize power right at 40. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed is alive. Alright, V1 and rotate. Landing gear is coming up. We're just going to stay straight here. It's telling us to go left, but we're going to stay straight.
Last year's call, connect and reconnect. We're not seeing it now.
Up, up, and away we go.
We're on 658, connect to the
Flaps up. Pick up some speed here. Over to Las Vegas departure. You haven't been there as well. Skywest 318. We'll see you. Alright. Departure Skywest 318 is 4,600. I may be insane. Up to flight level 190, Skywest 318. Alright guys, so we have our little rollout. Let's get our taxi light off, of course. We're on our flight level change. Cleared up to flight level 190, landing gear is up. Flaps are up. So we're in, we're out. I do like flying this aircraft. It's just a little rough around the edges because of this. There we go. I think we finally got it to where we're not going to see the seat anymore. So yeah guys, sorry about that. Let's look at our requirements. 8,000, 11,000. And I do believe that's above. So let's just double check that on the departure, otherwise I am going to get yelled at. Alright, max 250, above 8,000. Or about, I'm sorry, yeah, above 8,000. So we're good there. Let's see, if we go to Kruger, we need to be below. But he already cleared us up to go to flight level 190, so we're good there. So I don't even need to adhere to that because we've already been cleared up to flight level 190. Alright, landing lights are coming off. LA Center, 3465. You see, the sky was 318. 3465. Los Angeles Center, Skywest 318 is 11,600, climbing flight level 190. 230, Skywest 318. Alright, so we got the clearance to go to flight level 230. Aircraft is climbing at the best it can. Now let's not forget to put it in the climb mode. Not too bad. I mean, other than shuffling around during the takeoff of the seat, definitely not too bad. Alright, she's straightening up as you see. So we are on the way. See if we get any shortcuts today. As you can see, our en route timer is restarted. So we're about 4 minutes into the game. Alright, everything off and clean. Gears up. Flaps up, of course. Pressurization is set. Over to Los Angeles Center, 33.2 SkyWest 18. Alright. Los Angeles Center, SkyWest 318 is 50,000 age, flight level 230. Up to flight level 340, SkyWest 318. Alright guys, so we got our final really quick. So we've been cleared all the way up to our final cruising altitude of 34,000 feet here. Let's go ahead and increase this range, and I'm going to check you guys out in the chat here in a second. So far, so good. Aircraft is climbing at 270, and we'll just leave it in the climb mode here. Definitely a little quirky FMC, but it looks like we're making it happen. All right, green light. What's good? How you doing? Says nice takeoff. Hope all's well. Thanks. Appreciate that green light. Hope all's well with you. And I'm blessed. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for checking in with us, of course. All right, guys, we can go to the standard altimeter setting. All right, standard altimeter's there. All right, Dave. Now I can look to see if the seat adjustment works correct. Let's see. Uh-oh, somebody's missing in action. Yeah, Dave, I don't see an adjustment area down here for me to click on. Or down here. Or anything in the back. I think we're just stuck like Chuck. Let's see if there's anything let's see. FMS, no, checklist. I think we're just gonna have to wing it like this, Dave. You know, say our little prayer. See what the time is. Not doing too bad at all. Alright guys, I think it's almost time ready for some music. Let me make sure they're turned up though this time so I don't miss their calls. Because I surely missed them the first time, probably because I was streaming and doing a little bit too much multitasking here. You guys let me know how the volume is doing for you. Let me know if it's too loud. And let's get those light controls out of your way. We don't need that. There we go. I mean, look how close this guy's sitting to his seat. The first officer, I guess that would be you, Dave, on this flight. I mean, basically, you're outside the window. But if you look down, it's right where it needs to be as far as the point of view. And if you look left, our back is parallel to this seat. So maybe X-Crafts might get a message and say, hey man, make some seat adjustments. Or else I'm going to get Dave and the key on you. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking, man. Dave's like a bulldog. In the positive sense of the word, that is, there, Dave. All right. So we are doing well. I'm getting hungry. Will Burke, what is up, my friend? Thank you for joining the stream. Happy Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on where you're at. I have some people in my streams that come from all over. Dave said you will rarely ever find me in a jetliner in a sim. Dave, I'm assuming you love the general aviation. Glad to see someone using the ERJ 145. Will Burke says, yes sir, I do love this little plane. You know, today before I started the stream, I really thought about doing some general aviation flying in SoCal on Pilotedge, short trips. I do like flying, man. I'm gonna tell you probably my favorite general aviation, which is not really general aviation because it's passion, but we'll just call it that because it's a propeller plane, prop. The Beechcraft 1900 Delta. I love it. I like a lot of them from Coronado. The Hot Start, TBM Hot Start, TBM 900. I have that. I haven't flown that in a while. I think very quirky in terms of the interface. Sometimes you go to start the airplane and it's at the last state, so you got to reset the plane, all this jazz and all that stuff. So maybe I'll fly that. I like the PC-12. I definitely like flying my Dornier DO-228. Dave McKee says GA vintage and historic VFR flying is his thing. Dave says only thing I ever record is that. Will Burke says, which I can relate, Dave. I like the big metal buses. I like them all, guys. I guess I'm kind of right in the middle. I like them both. I like, if I do a lot of general aviation flying and I get the itch to fly jets, and vice versa. And figuring out what we need to do with our lives in order to have a better landing, a less chaotic landing there. Nothing to see here, folks, except a bunch of desert. I used to do some training actually in this desert, through Death Valley and all that good stuff, when I used to be stationed at the National Training Center in Fort Irwin. I know this desert out here all too well. Probably too well. Let's get you guys a better view there. There we go. We'll give you this little cool top-down view as we're cruising. Let's see. Will Burke says, wish I could relate, Dave. He likes the big metal buses. Will Burke also says, any tips for separating ATC audio and engine sounds? I do have a tip for you, Will. I'll get to that in a second. And Dave said, yeah, it's not for everyone. Will, for sure. It's my niche and what I am known for. Dave is known for flying the old, pretty sexy birds. The vintage style. The kind you better hope the maintenance is up or we all get old. So Will, are you, first of all, are you using OBS? And if so, how many different audio output and input devices do you have for your computer? That's really going to be kind of how we break this thing down. With OBS, I have about 3 or 4 different audio inputs and outputs, and I don't use them all at the same time. So for right now, for example, I am using 2 audio outputs and 1 audio input. Well, actually 2 audio inputs, really, if you include the music. So my voice and the music right now are audio input into OBS. As far as the output is concerned, give me 1 second here, I'm going to change this. If you will, slide over really quick. Change this maybe to about 1,000 feet or about 700 feet per minute so we can keep our speed good. Anyway, so it just depends really on your oh, and you're talking about separating the audio on VATSIM? It's not, can you mean on VATSIM, Will? So if you're talking about separating the audio on VATSIM, buy some cheap speakers and put X-Plane out there. What you could do, yes, So there's actually an even cheaper fix than that. So if you like flying with headphones, what you can do is get a just normal pair of earbuds, the kind with the, what is it, 3.8 millimeter jack or whatever. Plug that into your computer. If your headphones are USB, you can plug that into USB. Now you have two audio outputs. So then you can go into your VATSIM client under settings and select whichever output you want, which I'm assuming the output on the audio really should be Pilot to your earbuds, and then the rest of the sound out of your main ones, as well as your output of your voice. The mic will come from there. That's how I do it. So under my ear right here, I have another set of earbuds, which is what I use for my air traffic control. And then on the main headset, I have the music and the aircraft noises coming out along with my microphone. I hope that helps you, Will. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, of course. And I really shouldn't say that because I have a cat and I love her to death. So, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be skinning any animals. One way, more than one way to skin a potato. How about that? Or a cucumber. Will says, great tip. Thanks, Dre. I'm new to the networks, so trying to figure stuff out. I tell you what, Will, I've been down that road. And I did a lot of it trial and error. YouTube wasn't even really a thing when I figured this stuff out. As far as being able to get stuff from YouTube and everybody being so, having so much content now where you can kind of go find your answers. But YouTube has given me a lot of information in a short amount of time because I'm a very visual person, and then I do it and I'm hands-on. I'm also, I can do PowerPoints. I can learn, I guess I'm blessed. I can learn different modalities, if you will. But use us, Will, use all these content creators on here that do the Flight Sim. Ask us. We'll give you the way we do it, and then just remember, you may do it differently. There's not one right or wrong way to do things. Exactly. So thanks for streaming and answering my questions. It's much appreciated. Of course, Will. Thanks for checking me out. I'll help out where I can. Dave says, but I have speakers, so I have my plane audio through them. I got you, Dave. I used to do that too. And if I'm not streaming, I kind of do it differently. Sometimes if I just want to have the aircraft where I can hear everything, I do it differently as well. So I'm glad I can help you out, Will. Let's get a little sip here. Alright, guys. Oh, you heard that. It's about 1,000 to go. We do the last 1,000 at 500 feet per minute as far as our vertical speed climb. Go back up top, make sure everything is off, which it is. We are all looking good. Pressurization is looking good. We're living the dream now, guys. Okay, Wilberg says, where are we flying to now? All right. Dave answered it very quickly. We are flying to Reno on this last leg here. This flight is, this aircraft is flight number 318 for SkyWest, full service from San Diego to Reno. Of course, we had one stop in Las Vegas. So we don't have far to go. Not far to go at all. We're going to be under an hour of flying time now. I'll tell you, Will, what the flying time is, friend. An hour and 2 minutes. So we've already, if you look here, we're already 19 minutes into it. So, and of course, we're going to get a nice little replay on the last flight. I don't do replays between the legs because sometimes it glitches my my sim for whatever reason. So Wilberg says, what are you looking forward to most at the expo? Well, Will, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to, you know, meeting other simulators, sim enthusiasts like myself, real pilots, and just, you know, embracing this hobby that I've had for 20 years now. It's been, yeah, I've had this hobby, you know, about 20 years now. Obviously, there's been a lot of, you know, improvements, enhancements with the advancement of technology, you know, graphics cards, processors on the computers is definitely making much better. So I'm just really looking forward to getting there, meeting some great people, seeing other people that I saw at the last Flight Sim Expo for me, which was in 2018, and just seeing what everybody else is doing, picking up tips, potentially maybe buying some new controllers. I'm bringing my 23-year-old daughter. She's 22, she'll be 23 in a couple weeks. So I'm bringing my 23-year-old daughter with me. She's my little Flight Sim Expo buddy. Mute this, I'm about to cough here. Sorry about that, guys. Throat was getting dry there. Will, are you going to the Flight Sim Expo, or have you ever been to a Flight Sim Expo? Alright guys, so there's something else we got to do here. Let's get it into the cruise phase. Oh, consider it 27.45. Let's stop. We'll see. Alright, so 27.45. Good evening. Well, consider SkyWest 318 with you, flight level 340. So, we are traveling fairly slow right now. Let's look at that headwind and see what it's doing to us. Wilberg says, my story is I played flight sims a lot when I was younger, and being 24 now, I have refound my passion for it. So much so I am going to go for my PPL in real life soon. I will not be attending Expo. Hey, no problem with attending Expo. I just happen to be attending Expo again because 2018, I live in California. 2018, it was in Las Vegas, so that's a hop, skip, and a jump for me. And then this year it's in San Diego, which is literally under an hour from my house. But Will Burke, you were motivating me. I don't have my private pilot's license. I was going to get my private pilot's license, and I still want to. My wife is very apprehensive about that. Altogether, we have 6 kids. So she's like, what if something happens to you? Which, you know, I don't live life in the fear of that, but I do have responsibilities. We own our own company, so I run the business as well. But I do still want to get my private pilot license. I still have a desire to do this, so we'll see. And I wish you the best in your journey to get your private pilot's license, brother. You can do it. You know, you're young. You know, you are definitely young. When I was your age, I was in the military. I was in the Army. Matter of fact, when I turned age 25, that's when I invaded Iraq in 2000. So, yeah, how time flies. How time flies. But if you want to do it, Will, you can do it, brother. You will do it. You know, set your vision board up. You will do it. You will get it. And thanks for saying, completely understandable. You know, yeah, it's like when you get married, you gotta weigh things out. And to be honest with you, although I do want to go up and get behind the real flight yoke and do the real thing, flight simulation is so realistic now. I almost get, you know, fulfilled just by doing this. As far as my desire to fly. And then there's the streaming on top of it, which I do like to stream because I like to give back to the community. And Will says, thank you for your service. Thank you for saying that, Will. As I've said before in my streams, I wouldn't have it any other way. I was able to get college education out of the military. You know, my kids here in California, they go, I have 2 daughters already at college. They go to school, I don't want to say tuition free, but I want to say their tuition is waived because of my service. So thank you for that. I would do it again, hands down. All right, guys, so let's look at some of our stats here. All right, so we have a total of 233 nautical miles to go, and we're really not doing too bad, which that's kind of ambiguous. What does that mean, we're not doing too bad? Top of descent here, as you can see, is at 97 miles, so no diggity. We're cruising right along. So we really need to start getting into the departure stuff here. Let me check some more stuff on the chat, and then we'll get into a departure so that we're not rushing towards the end. Dave, Will says, you seem very nice. Maybe we can meet someday at a future Flight Sim Expo. Will, I would love that. I like meeting all you guys. And I'll speak to that. Let me get to Dave's comment here. If you want to know what it is, see, Dave says, if you want to know what it is, like best, you can, Dre, without getting a PPL, get a good VR headset. Not quite the same because you don't feel the motion. Otherwise, it is dang close. Dave, I'm going to do that. Dave, let me ask you something. Do they have a good VR one on the Oculus Rift? I don't have a VR headset, but I don't know. I haven't bought one, you know. But my dad has one. A couple other people. One of my good friends has one as well. I want to know what's the best virtual reality headset to get, or are you talking about doing VR headset with X-Plane 11 or Microsoft Flight 2020? And if so, Dave, what do you recommend as far as headsets that are compatible with that? You guys see us getting thrown around here? You guys see that? She is bouncing everywhere. You know, at flight level 320, it was, if we stay choppy like this, let me write that down, Dave. You said HP NV2. Wilberg says, I've had the go-to VR for Flight Sim is the pricey one from HP. Got you. Dave McKee says for a consumer headset, I'm assuming. 3 should be out early next year. All right, I'm about to check into that, fellas. You guys have put me on game here. Sitting via the Kilo 2, expecting the south arrival, altimeter 3028, Skywest 318. The NC is not that pricey. It's like 500. Not bad, guys. I think if I get one, I'm going to have to get the best one. All right. So, let's go ahead and start looking at we're already getting our departure or our arrival stuff, so that's good. We got to look and see what the first waypoints are. All right, so Scola, flight level 240 or 280. Let's look and see how far we have to go to Scola. So we have a ways, and at Scola, the lowest we'll assume is flight level 240. So that's a disparity of 10,000 feet. So once we get direct graph, we'll start handling our descent. There we go. This thing gets super bouncy, so it's hard to do it with track IR and the mouse. All right, so good thing is we did plan for the southern runway. which is the 16 right. So hopefully now we don't have anything to change. Go figure. All right, Dave McKee says you're in Maxim's McSlim's Discord, Dre, to talk to the disciple. He has one. Granted, he is a FS22 flyer, but best I know it works with X-Plane MP3D as well as the truck sim. And he only games in VR. Wow, I'm gonna have to check that out, Dave, for real. Appreciate that information, man. Yeah, I will go in his Discord and check that out. Dave, man, you be on it, man. I appreciate you, for real. Do you fly yours as well, Dave, in VR as well? You fly your vintage stuff? And what do you fly, Dave? X-Plane or Microsoft 2020? I'm about to get Microsoft 2020. I'm on the cusp of getting a nice high-end machine with an i9 processor, Intel, so we'll see how that goes and keep you posted. Alright, so we're direct graph at about 20 nautical miles or so. We'll go ahead and start our descent. And at our current speed, ground speed is 409 times 5. So our 3 degrees glide slope at this speed would be about 2,000 feet per minute pitch down, according to the little lovely formula. So Reno, we need to pull up to gate Bravo 10. So let's go ahead and pull these landing information in. So we saw the departure, but it's up anyway, so I'll show you guys again. Here's the departure, or I'm sorry, the arrival, the star, standard terminal arrival. Minimal graft, here's Scola, where we need to be between 28,000 and 24,000 feet, of course. Texas above 17, Hold'em above 16, Chime between 13 and 12 at 250, clock at 210 knots at 10,000. Then we go on a heading of 330 to get vectors for runway. We should be doing 16 right, not 16 left. Dave says, and no, I don't have a VR headset. I have a ghetto computer. People are amazed. I make the recordings and do screenshots. I do it myself. Oh my goodness. Dave also does primarily, he flies Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, but when I want to do historic vintage, it's X-Plane 11 all the way. Not enough aircraft in 2020 yet to scratch the itch. I feel you. Man, Dave, you are too much, man. You make me laugh. See, I got that ghetto set up. All right, another thing that we're going to do, guys, here, we're going to go ahead and hit the runway or the tower 18.7. So let's get that over here. So 18.7 is the tower, and ATIS is 35.8. There we go, guys. 18.7 on the tower, and 135.8 is what we're doing. All right, let us look at our top of descent. It's got us happening about 42 nautical miles. Let's see why it says that. Oh, because it's got us going to flight level 280. So if you think about it, that's only a difference from 340 to 280. 6,000 times 3 would be about 18 nautical miles. Which kind of makes sense because look, 33 to 27 is 50, 60. Shave off 20, and that's where we're going to start descending anyway. So that's good. So I'm shooting for Scola at flight level 240. All right, guys. So one thing I wanted to do, let's take a look. All right, I'm just trying to see what the last point goes in. So on our star, clock is the last one. Okay, so this is the last one. So on the star, it says to fly heading 330 after clock. So that's what we'll do. And on the approach for 16 right, that's where this libs and roars and all that comes in. So we're doing good. We really don't have anything to worry about except folks, we need to put in our localizer frequency, and we'll do that. Let's get a quick health and welfare of the aircraft, because sometimes you look down for too long, next thing you know you're in big trouble. Okay. Alright guys, so the localizer frequency is 110.9. Localizer frequency 110.9. And 110.9. Alright, 110.9, 110.9. Final approach course is 164. We are doing well. People are amazed. Okay, alright, so Dave was the last one to check in. I must say, you guys are keeping me thoroughly entertained. So thank you guys for an awesome, busy chat. Alright guys, so we can go ahead and start our descent. And we'll go about 1,800 feet. It doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, let's use this off the autopilot feature. Alright, here's the autopilot feature. We wanted to send there. Vertical speed is here. So we can go ahead and get this on and cracking. So we're going to do the negative sign. Let's see if it accepts it. Entry is accepted. Alright guys. And we have started our descent. Open center SkyWest 318 is out of flight number 340, descending via the Reno 2 route. Alright, you just want to do that to give them a little courtesy. Let them know your altitude is changing. And let's square up that heading. Just to be on the safe side, guys. Here in a second, we'll turn the music off and we will attempt to get the ATIS. Right now, we can just enjoy this descent into the Reno area. See, guys, we're at, hopefully we hit it on time. Complete flying time today was supposed to be an hour and 2 minutes, so let's see if we can land this thing in 24 minutes on the ground. And our parking in Reno is Bravo 10. Let's see what that looks like here. Alright, I like the speed. So for our southern landing, Bravo 10 will be on the most south appendage. Alright, so we'll be landing, coming this way south. We'll swing back around, more than likely on Alpha, and Bravo 10 is the second gate on this appendage here. So hopefully we get it right. Should be one gate off the corner here and two directly perpendicular, if you will, to the building. Yeah, so we should be taxiing on Alpha. Alright, guys. That song is off, so let's just turn all the music off at this point. And let's see if we can pick up ATIS. We still may be a little bit too far out. 1870, 135, 8. Yep, is the ATIS. 1870. Yeah, I think we're still a little bit too far away. Make sure he wasn't. I don't think he was talking to me, but let's just make sure he wasn't. I think I heard somebody else respond. Alright, Scola and 12 nautical miles, and we are at flight level 280. So we didn't descend aggressively and make that 240, but that's okay. Alright, so now our next point, we just need to be above 17,000.
Where would you like to start it from? Can you get the RNAV visual from RNAV visual from one press? One right press.
Alright, we're doing 2,000, negative 2,000 pitch down now. A little bit of that power out there. Again, let's square up that heading. And let's make that a little bigger there. Alright, let's try to get this ATIS again. Foxtrot. We're going to put it in the heading mode. We got 1-6 left. I plan for right, but they still may be doing construction on the right one. So, so let's go to arrival and just switch the runway to 1-6 left, which won't hurt our arrival. And 1-6 left, they're all RNAV. It's probably going to give us the visual anyway. We'll still do this one here. Now we got to go back to progress, folks. We got to go to flight plan, and we got to hit execute. So graph, hold 'em, chime, clock. Vector is still what we're going to get. Then of course there is the rest of the runway, or the route there. Alright guys, so we can definitely, and we're direct to graph. Sorry, we should be direct to Texas. So back up. Get that direct. Back on nav, folks. So we're not doing too bad, about 11 nautical miles. We'll be about 17,000 above. Pull that speed back a little bit. We're doing good, guys. The next one is going to be above 16,000. There we go. All right, 3028. I think he's getting ready to call me. NorCal approach 19.2, Skywest 318. Approach Skywest 318, flight level 181, descending via the Kino 2 information Foxtrot on board.
Skywest 318, NorCal approach 302,
Expected visual 16 left, altimeter 3028, Skywest 318. Alright guys, so we did great. It's a good thing. It's a good thing we did that. So now I'm trying to remember, I was in the midst of doing something. Oh, the altimeter. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so I'm going to do this the easy way. So it's not bouncing around. 3028. There we go. 3028 in the house. Get you guys that better view. All right. And at time, we need to be at 250 between 13,000. You guys can see we're going into a nice little cloud layer now. We're getting ready to. And let's see, a chime, we want to shoot for 12. I don't know why I like using the knobs. I literally could go over to the autopilot feature and do that as well, but call me hard-headed. All right, we're up in that speed. We're at 48 minutes, guys. We got 14 minutes to get this bad boy on the ground on time. I got the speed about right there. Okay. All right, we are sending down to our next point there. 1 second, my lovely daughter and wife are in here. Hey, lovelies. I'm about to land. If you don't know. Thank you, honey. Hi, baby. You in here too? Oh, okay. Thank you, mama. All right. Wife knew I was a hungry beast, so she came in. Before I forget it, guys, let's get some flight controls. Even the cat came in. We'll see if we get her on screen here. She was like, Daddy, when are you going to be done with all this flying stuff? All right, let's slow our roll just a little bit. And let's get back to brass tacks. Let me check on you guys there for a second before I get busy. I wonder what the range is for ATIS transmission. If I'm flying on a star, I just set like 8,000 and let the FMC control the descent point so I don't have to keep changing the altitude. Right, I feel you, Dave. And I'm assuming you just mess with the vertical speed. This one doesn't have VNAV in it, so you got to do it all yourself. Yeah, so we need to be down between 13,000, So we're almost there, and then at 10,000. Let me just go ahead and set 10,000 in there. All right, we should be fine for 10,000, and that's going to be at 210 at the next one. So let's start bringing our speed back just a little bit, as well as let us look at something very important, folks. Very important. And that's going to be our perf page, and of course, what we're landing at. Let's see what this runway length is, folks. It's going to determine how I'm landing. So, 9,000 feet. Oh, we're definitely doing flaps 45. The approach would be 141. So we need 330 on the heading. And what do you know? Heading is 330, so that's good. All right, we're making our turn to clock. Go ahead and get those landing lights on before I forget. All right, let me read star really quick on the 1002. It says then on heading 330, so let's change that to 330. All right, so after our last point, we'll be on a heading of 330, of course. Quiet that speed down, and then the 10,000 is the last. You guys can see we're breaking through those clouds there. 10,000 is going to be the last waypoint. 141 is our approach speed, if I remember correctly. Yep, 141. So the airport's behind that mountain over there. We're going to swing around. I'm assuming this will be my last approach. So now we can get the 18.7 in there.
I'm sorry, I give you the wrong frequency, 0.5.
Yeah, it's okay. I have you.
There's 18.7 for our tower freak.
Runway 1 right. One right, good, everything.
And clock is literally the last one. About 2 nautical miles to go to clock. This flight actually went pretty quick, guys.
Travis 13, the Reno airport is at your, let's see, your 10 o'clock is 10 miles. What is it?
We got a bit of a mountain here. We will report the field at site once we have it from Skywest 318. Alright, so we're going to heading. There's the airport right there. Skywest 318 has the field in sight. Here, visual approach 1611, Skywest 318. Alright guys, and just to let you know, we're about to get on it here. We're about to do all manual flying here. If you guys were curious, at the elevation of the airport is 4,415 feet, so that means we're only 6,000 above. All right, guys, let's do our checks before we get on it. Let's see, we're 16 left. Now I'm just referencing the charts for height. So where we're at, we're not doing too bad. Let's see, 6,900 feet. So let's straighten ourselves up a little bit. And let me check the chat one more time until we get on the ground, guys. Alright, guys. I won't be checking the chat again until we get on the ground. We're about to handle business. All right, here we go, guys. Get a better visual there. I'm gonna put this back in the takeoff mode. It's gonna buy us a little bit more. Okay, I'm satisfied with that.
Autopilot.
Autopilot off.
Autopilot.
Going flaps 9. Ooh, those trims really, those flaps. All right, guys. All right, landing lights are on, strobes are on, taxi lights are on, gears not down yet. We got flaps 9. And you guys know me, I love doing some hand flying. All right, I got the runway. We're basically getting ready to turn perpendicular, as well as you can look at the MFD. Now we're going to drop that altitude. We're going to get right in that clearing, and we're going to make our left, and we'll be on final. Keeping our speed about 190 until we do that turn. We're fully hands-on right now, folks. Trim the rudder there a little bit. Wind is pushing us. Alright, our goal is to get 6,000 feet. Very slowly though, of course. We're going to start dropping that speed back. I'm going to pitch down because we're getting ready to throw in another stage of flaps. She's definitely going to want to lift up. There we go, as I thought. Nice slow descent. $8,600 feet. Landing gear on their way down as well. Reno Tower 118.7, Skywest 318. Reno Tower, Skywest 318, visual 16 left. Skywest 318 on the tower, on 6 left, clear line, Skywest 318. Alright, guys. Alright, guys, flaps full. Check. Landing checks. Gear is down, confirmed through green. Flaps 45 and full. The clearance to land has been received. Landing lights are all on. Okay, guys, pretty stable approach here so far. All visual here, folks. All right, let's see if we can get some glide slope information here. Look at that, getting nice and cloudy. Try to get on that glide slope. We're still a little high. That's okay though. Speed is going to bleed back just a little bit here. See a busy highway down there.
1,000.
1,000 can check.
$500.
500 check.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Still came in a little high, but that's okay.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
100. 50. 10.
$10.
10.
Knew that was going to be hard. Still a realistic landing. Brought it up a little bit. Reversers are on. One acceptable, one hard. That's okay. -3 something. It just wasn't our day for landing this thing. I kind of floated it up a little bit towards the end. That's okay. Reverse free, applying manual brakes. And it didn't help that we used the whole runway because we were high on the approach. Again, the whole reason I need to start streaming and flying more, folks. Welcome it in, either way, on a hard landing or not, to Reno, Nevada, folks. Strobe is off. Tower, Skywest 318, clear of runway 16 left, on Papa holding short 34, or 16 right as well.
Skywest 318, extra parking via Papa Alpha, cross runway 16 right at Papa.
Taxi via Papa Alpha, cross 16 right at Papa for Skywest 318. Alright guys.
Super 73 Alpha, Foxtrot Super, contact NorCal departure.
Welcome it in, guys. Not the best landings today, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself. We good thing is that we didn't have any gear destroyed. We just had an acceptable and one hard landing. So I'm cool with that. That approach was too perfect. Oh, Dave says strobes on, lights on, crossing the runway. All right, landing lights back off, and strobes off. All right, flaps are up and clean. Brakes are down. Well, guys, sorry about no butters today. Not even any great landings today, but it was just, you know, one of those acceptable / hard landing days that I'm cool with. Still enjoyed the flight. The second flight, even though the landing was much more harder than the first one. The first one was -2 something. This one was -3 something. So we we floated her up, and then I dropped the speed, so it tank dropped. That's exactly what happened. I knew what was happening while I was doing it, but I couldn't increase the speed because we were running out of runway, as you saw. So, in order for these passengers to just go get a little chiropractic work, this is a hard landing, they made it alive. So Bravo 10 will be on the first appendage. Let me look and see exactly where that's at. Do a little coast here. All right. Hope everybody enjoyed that. I sure did. All right, folks, that was awesome sauce. We did our 2 trips. You can't butter them all, says Dave McKee. You can walk away on the plane and fly the next day. It's a good handling. Victoria says hi. How you doing, Victoria? Thanks for joining the stream. And Dave, thank you for saying that. You always make me feel better about myself. And you're right, we can walk away from it. The plane is still serviceable the next day, so it is what it is. That's why we keep doing this, because we know every landing is going to be something different, and that's why I love the challenge of this flight sim thing. No doubt. Hey everybody, I just want to say thank you for joining us here on this flight. We had a full service flight from San Diego, California, with 1 stop into Las Vegas, finishing the service here into the Reno area, which we have. So good for us. And this is an inactive non-factor runway. That's why he didn't say anything about crossing this runway. I'm going to run. Thanks for the fun stream as always. Stay safe and catch you next time, Dave McKee says. Dave, thank you, sir. Thank you for all your help and assistance as well, and I look forward to seeing you on the next stream, sir. God bless you and your family, and stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one. So Bravo 10 is going to be the right side gate on the, there's only 2 gates. It's Bravo 11 and Bravo 10, and we're on the right side of Bravo 10. So we made it. We definitely made it. You guys don't need to see me anymore. Oops, wrong one. Booyah. We'll be getting into that replay here shortly. I do see our gate, and it does look vacated. Now we can do the replay, of course. Look at that. The sky's all cleared out. Nothing to it.
For number 76 Alpha Lima, Salt Lake City approach, hello, descend to me, Salt Lake City Center, hello, descend to maintain flight level 180, Billings landing west.
All right.
Number 26, contact Seattle.
Let's get that taxi light off. Okay, we're not in the marshaller's eyes. Okay, so that left gate right there, as you see, is Bravo 11. And then the next one is us. Bravo 10 in the house. There's the number 10, so we called it right. Bravo 10 in the house. All right, out we go. Since we don't have the marshaller, we're going to stop where the CRJs go, of course. All right, folks, we have truly arrived. All right, let's come down here and get that transponder off. Yep, we'll take that. Let's get the APU bleed on. Let's get those packs off, of course, which we technically should have done before we turn the engine. That's what a co-pilot would do. And off, 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 off. Off, off, seatbelt sign, come off, these can close, and I think we look official, man. I don't know about you guys, but let's go ahead and take a look at this bad boy. It's totally official. All right, guys. Oh, we got to get that beacon off. What's wrong with us? Red beacon off. Log off of Pilotedge, and let's get into this replay. That's better. All right, guys, look at that. We made it in one piece. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Replay time. All right. You know how we do it. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Got a nice little profile. Look at that. There's a little texture pop in there. Look how high we still were. Super high. Let's see if we can get a tower view yet. I don't know that we're going to be able to get this tower view. Let's get a little closer and see if we can get that tower view. Come on, Reno, don't fail me. Some of them don't have good tower views, which this looks like it's one of them. She's coming in right there. Let's try that tower view again. Yeah, just no view whatsoever. Alright guys, we're going to come right in here to this view. Because this is all we can get. Here she comes. There's that float. There's the touchdown. So not too bad. Hard landing, but not too bad at all, guys. Not too bad at all, guys. All right, let's check it out from a different perspective, of course. You guys are going to see this float. Right there is where we put it up, and this is where I was like, oh man, look how much runway we lost. That's all right though. Flared it up, smacked it down with the lower speeds, of course. And we put those reversers out. Alright, you guys know how we do it. And folks, here from the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel, I would like to tell everybody thank you for joining me on this wonderful two-leg flight. You know how we do it. We're going to ride it out with the wing view. Let me come on and just tell you guys how much I really did appreciate you guys. Look, God bless everyone. Stay safe. May or may not do another stream before Flight Sim Expo, which is this Saturday. Hopefully I get one more in. Probably won't be this long. Thanks for checking us out. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. I'll do some better flying and landing next time, but I think we did pretty good for being rusty. Stay away from COVID. Stay healthy, stay safe, take care of each other. We'll see you next time with the Dre YouTube channel. We're going to ride it out to some music and the wing view all the way to the gate.